I'm in the middle of a very odd argument with somebody on Facebook, somebody I know who's, and he's put up an article today because they seem to be saying now that it was started in a lab in Wuhan. Okay, so he's put this up, and underneath he's written, you know, it's just culling the herd. Okay, now this is a person. So one of his friends says, oh, they haven't done a very good job then, because they haven't killed that many people. And I wrote underneath, well, that's not the idea. The idea is that the is the thing that's going to kill you, right? This guy then puts underneath that, oh, tinfoil hat, right? So one conspiracy is okay, but the next logical step is, I haven't gone back to, I know he's replied, I then sent a clip that's an American documentary, 60 Minutes, that was done exposing the swine flu con in 1976. Okay, the first time that swine flu happened, one guy died on an American base. Think about it. They then spent thousands of dollars making TV commercials to get people to get. This is nearly 50 years ago. Loads of people got, and at least 1,000 people were horrifically injured or died, and the companies were sued because their people were lied to. Right, one person died maybe of swine flu. You know. And if you go into, and you can go and look online, you can look at this. It's not the first time they've used this trick. One way, even if it's just to make money, they've done it before. I didn't know that at all. Oh, there you go. This is why the joke was that when the year that Obama was elected, they always, the joke in America is there's always some kind of outbreak during election year. Right, if you go back like SARS, bird flu, swine flu, and the joke was they'd resurrected swine flu because pigs would fly when a black man becomes president of America. Swine flu, right? Epic trolley. They're taking the piss. You know they're taking the piss out of you. It's like Matt Hancock, right? Oh, swine pig. Okay, right. Swine flu, right? Yeah. Swine flu. Pigs might fly. Black man gets president. Swine flu. And there was another swine flu thing in the 90s, right? Or the two. Around the 2000 or something, there was a swine flu thing. What was it? When was Obama elected? 2008. If I'm correct, about 2000. When did he? 2008 to 2014. Got to get that right now. 2016, 2008, 2016. He was in for 8 years. Then Trump comes along. So this is 2008. If you go and look, that's when they were doing it, right?
It is one of the greatest medical scandals of the century, according to a leading health expert in Brussels. The Council of Europe health chief has accused major pharmaceutical firms of organizing a campaign of panic and unduly influencing World Health Organization decisions. And with European countries now burdened with bills for millions of unwanted doses of the swine flu, he wants an investigation. Our science correspondent Tom Clark has this report.
Flu viruses can spread.
64,000 people dead, tens of thousands hospitalised, a country crippled by a virus. The predictions for the impact of swine flu on Britain were grim. The government's response, spending hundreds of millions of pounds on antiviral drugs and adverts and leaflets. But 10 months into the pandemic, only 355 Britons have died, and globally, the virus hasn't lived up to our fears. Were governments misled into preparing for the worst? Politicians in Brussels are now asking for an investigation into the role pharmaceutical companies played in influencing political decisions that led to a swine flu spending spree.
There must be a process to get more transparency, how the decisions in the WHO, how they function, and who is influencing the decisions of the WHO, and what is the role of the pharmaceutical industry there. I'm very suspicious about the processes which are behind this pandemic.
The Council of Europe Committee want the investigation to focus on the World Health Organization's decision to lower the threshold required for a pandemic to be formally declared.
The world is now at the start of the 2009 influenza pandemic.
When this happened in June last year, governments had to activate huge pre-prepared contracts for drugs and with manufacturers. They also want to probe ties between key WHO advisors and drug companies.
Who is deciding what the risk is? Is it the pharmaceutical companies who want to sell drugs, or is it someone making a decision based on the perceived danger? In this case, it appears that the danger was vastly exaggerated. And was it exaggerated by the pharmaceutical companies in order to make money?
And in this country, the government spent, they'd bought £400 million worth, or 400, £400 million worth of Tamiflu doses before this, and it was going to waste. It was all going to go off. So they were trying to flog that to people.
Was the swine flu in that case just another scam like the PCR test scam, or was it a real thing?
Complete and utter bollocks.